First forecast brought to you by Store It at Home, rent-to-own portable buildings. And a good key to point out here is that we got the heat graphic up even on our first forecast, because boy, oh boy, is it going to be hot, hot, hot over the next couple of days. I mean, temperatures are going to be soaring, feeling like the lower triple digits, with the actual thermometer reading the upper 90s. As we go toward the end of the week, it is going to be downright uncomfortable out there, and unfortunately not really looking at an end in sight. 72 degrees out there tonight, mainly clear and humid, but we're talking about warm temperatures, nearly triple digits as we go forward. Of course, I'll have all the details and more coming up in a few minutes. Your ABC 31 News starts now.
Welcome to ABC 31 News Tonight. I'm Scott Beadle. Grand deputies are in pursuit of two suspects. Developing details in our big story tonight. Here's what we know. It all started around 8:45 this morning when Rapids deputies assisted with a pursuit started by the Georgetown police. The suspects fled from authorities down Highway 165 through Kingsville by the VA and then on to Roe Gully Road. The suspects are believed to be connected to an incident now under investigation by the Monroe Police Department. We do have a reporter following all of this, and we'll update the story as we know more. An Arnaville man has died on Memorial Day in St. Martin Parish after a two-vehicle head-on crash. He's 73-year-old Whitney Chevalier. Troopers say he was hit by an oncoming car last night on Highway 347. The Louisiana Office of Public Health is working to help prevent the spread of the measles virus after two cases have been confirmed in the state this year. ABC 31's Joanna Phillips has the story.
Earlier this month, a child in New Orleans was diagnosed and confirmed by the Louisiana Department of Health to have measles. It was the second measles diagnosis in Louisiana this year.
Cases in the United States and in Louisiana specific are almost always imported cases. And these are either people who have lived overseas and come to the United States, or there's Americans that have not been vaccinated and have gone overseas and been exposed and brought it back.
The child contracted the disease during international travel and was not vaccinated. These two cases in Louisiana this year have led the Department of Health to continue reminding citizens of the importance of preventing disease with timely immunization.
The vaccine for measles is part of the MMR, and it's very effective. It really confers virtually lifetime protection, and it's required for children. The vaccination for the children is really within the first year. By 12 months, you should have had one, and then by 4.
It can take anywhere from 10 to 21 days after a person comes in contact with someone with measles for that person to develop symptoms.
The symptoms are a spotty rash over your whole body. You can have some nasal discharge. You can have these white spots in your mouth called Koplik spots, and almost no one's seen this now because it's gotten to be so rare in the United States. The problem is every once in a while you're going to have somebody can have a major complication, which can include pneumonia or some cerebral complication. You can actually die from the measles.
A single dose of the measles, mumps, and rubella vaccine up to 72 hours after exposure can prevent or greatly reduce symptoms. Joanna Phillips, ABC 31 News.
The Rotary Club of Alexandria welcomed a guest speaker today who is no stranger to the Alexandria area. He served as the director of the Alexandria Museum of Art for 8 years. Mark Telos is currently president and CEO of the Mississippi Arts and Entertainment Experience.
We have built a $50 million museum experience in Meridian, hoping to build cultural tourism in Mississippi. One of the challenges that we're looking to solve is cultural tourism in that part of Mississippi is so ripe, but it's underutilized. So we found some mechanisms to fund that. One of the things that this museum celebrates are all the artists, musicians, writers, actors that came out of Mississippi. And it's pretty astounding. It's almost an embarrassment of riches, the number of people that have come out of the state of Mississippi and that are now iconic in American culture. So our museum celebrates that, and we also share a lot about the Mississippi experience, our food, our culture, our music, and so it's really a wonderful experience.
The new Mississippi Arts and Entertainment Experience, known as the MAX, is located in downtown Meridian in Mississippi. It opens its doors to the public back in April. Well, do you need to get away and relax a little? Jill Leo of the Historic District Business Association stopped by to talk about an upcoming Girls Weekend.
Come in, register on Friday, actually pre-register online on our website. But we've got a fashion show, cocktail buffet, music on Friday night, plenty of discounted shopping, wine tasting, hat parade, hypnotist, comedian act Saturday evening, fun-filled day, followed by brunch on Sunday.
That event is June the 8th through the 10th. For more information, you can visit girlswknd.org. While cotton acreage is increasing in neighboring states, Louisiana is actually experiencing a decline, mainly because of some disappointing yields the last 2 years. LSU Ag Center correspondent Craig Gautreaux gives us an update on Louisiana's cotton crop.
Nearly all of Louisiana's cottonseed is in the ground and growing. A hot, dry May has caused some planters to wait for improved soil conditions before finishing their planting.
I'd say anywhere from 80 to 90%, and the reason the rest of the acres that has not been planted at this time is simply because of dry soil conditions. This year projections are anywhere from 170 to 190,000 acres, so down a little bit.
Last year, Louisiana had 215,000 acres of cotton, which was a significant increase from 2016. Unfortunately, many growers had their expectations of high yields dashed by unfavorable growing conditions.
We've had tough years. Heavy insect pressure, just heavy amounts of rainfall, you know, in the middle of the season at harvest time, and it's discouraged quite a few producers.
Expectations are running high again this year because planting conditions were good, and according to Frommie, many stands got established very quickly.
Soil temperatures, air temperatures were just fantastic, and then we got planted here, you know, this last 2 weeks, and if you had moisture at the time, you got a good stand, and you know, we're off to a good start.
Temperatures this month have been running above average, with rainfall being below average. But Frommie says cotton requires less water than other crops such as corn and soybeans.
If it's going to be a dry year, or on the dry side, you know, cotton's going to stand to have the best potential as far as being profitable.
Last year, a bump in cotton prices caused acres to increase, but a price decrease this year has led to fewer acres being planted in 2018. With the LSU Ag Center, this is Craig Gautreaux reporting.
According to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, Louisiana cotton producers averaged 896 pounds of lint per acre, just under 2 bales, and produced more than 193 million pounds of cotton last year.
Only one doctor brings health right to your home.
Every day is a new chance for change, and everyone can start right now.
Make an appointment with Dr. Oz. Check in for your daily checkup.
Tomorrow, much like today, if you're outside in the sun for multiple hours, it's going to be feeling miserable out there. Nearly 95 by the time we hit about the 3 o'clock hour. Dew points ranging from 74 down to about 71. And anytime we're over 70, that's in that steamy, uncomfortable, just don't want to be outside range. And that is going to continue because we have plenty of moisture at the surface. Unfortunately, not going to translate into showers and thunderstorms, which would help cool us off because we have dry air aloft. So that cuts off any kind of thunderstorm activity right at its knees, doesn't allow it to get going. So it's going to be feeling like 104, 105 through the midday tomorrow, and this heat is only going to continue to build. Now, tropical moisture and humidity stays off to our east as it has over the last several days, with the storm track continuing to push off into the Great Lakes region and eventually out off to our east and eventually into the Gulf or into the Atlantic. But the heat is what will continue to build here locally over the next several days. We're going to see not just this week, but by the end of this week going into the weekend, triple digits will be pretty common across Texas and Oklahoma, even going into Arkansas. And on the western side of the states, we may get just a tad lucky with a few more clouds around to help keep us just a bit cooler. But big ridge building into the middle part of the country. Anytime you see the jet stream shaped like that, that's what we call a ridge. And of course, this is a trough, but we don't have a trough extending down anytime soon. So the heat, well, it's likely to stay over the next several days. Looking now through Sunday, the only way to describe it is hot. This is our actual temperatures. We're going to be 95, 95, going all the way up to 97. By the time we head into Saturday, it's likely we're going to be hitting right around 100 degrees for our daytime high, and it's going to be feeling like nearly 110. So anytime you have to spend outside, make sure you have water to stay hydrated. If you take pets out there, make sure they have water to stay hydrated. And a good rule is to take about a 10-minute break in the shade for every hour you spend outside so that you can avoid the heat-related illnesses and accidents that happen inevitably when it's this warm outside. 72 out there tonight, mainly clear, but very humid, and tomorrow, ooh, it's a scorcher. 95 to 96, only going to get worse this week. As we look at the next 7 days, plenty of red numbers on the chart there, and 100 showing up for our Saturday forecast. That's a look at your hot forecast over the next 7 days. Scott?
Yeah, we are not fans when the red numbers start to show up there. Obesity remains on the rise, with more and more doctors encouraging people to eat healthy and exercise. So what if chewing gum actually helped you burn calories? With more, here's Stephanie Ramos.
Physical exercise gets your heart rate up. You sweat and burn calories as your body uses more energy. But what could burn a little more? Chewing gum. Oh yeah, I'm serious. Researchers studied 46 men and women in Japan who were 21 to 69 years old. They each had a BMI between 22 and 30. Researchers documented they were all somewhat overweight and all were gum chewers, so they tested two groups. One group walked 15 minutes while chewing a couple of pieces of gum, and the other drank the same ingredients mixed in water while walking 15 minutes, just in case there was something in the gum ingredients that would affect the results. Their heart and walking speed were measured to calculate the amount of energy expended. Men over the age of 40 had the best response to this combo, burning about 2 additional calories for every minute they walked. Women, oddly, did not have a significant response. This was a small study, so don't go buying boxes of gum just yet, but the walk certainly won't hurt you.
It's all about the warm temperatures. The three of us are going to be sweating over the next several days, and likely the next 7. Temperatures going all the way up into the triple digits by the weekend. So please, please make sure that you take breaks if you have any kind of extended outdoor activity or time, and drink plenty of water.
Can I wear shorts at the desk?
Yeah,
Why not?
Okay, cool.
When temperatures rise, some don't always have the luxury of turning on a thermostat. That's why KLAX TV and area businesses have teamed up to form the Spring Fan Drive for the elderly. You can help by dropping off a fan at a location near you. Fans will be collected and distributed by each parish's Council on Aging provider. Remember, keeping cool isn't something that comes easy for everyone. Help us to bring some relief from the summer heat to those less fortunate. Fort Polk invites you to an evening of honor, gratitude, and rock and roll with the Lieutenant Dan Band. Let's have some fun and get ready to rock the house on June 9th. Enjoy an afternoon of golf for a good cause at Oak Wing Golf Club. Register your team and support the LSUA Alumni and Friends Association Scramble for Scholarships. Let's celebrate all things insects at the 11th Annual Kent House Bug Day on June 2nd. Enjoy learning, getting crafty, and of course, meet Smokey Bear. Join us at Oak Wing Golf Club for the Gary Grand Memorial Golf Tournament on June 1st. Proceeds help support our youth through educational and recreational opportunities. For more community events, visit us on Facebook or at KLAXTV.com.